It all began on a deceptively calm Thursday morning, the type of morning where nothing feels threatening but everything feels fragile. And looking back now, I realize the signs were there long before the nightmare actually started, because for months the HOA president, Mark Walters, had been tightening his grip on the entire neighborhood, harassing me with pointless fines, sending me passive-aggressive emails at 2 a.m., even knocking on my door just to complain about the tone of my porch light, as if he was some kind of dictator ruling over a tiny country he built inside his own imagination. I paid the necessary fines when I had to, challenged the ones I could, ignored the ones that were pure nonsense. But every week the harassment escalated. Mark would walk slowly around my property, like a shark circling water, staring at my backyard like he was plotting something, writing notes in a little black book he kept in his pocket. And the creepy part was that every time I stepped outside, he would vanish behind a tree, behind a car, behind a mailbox, pretending he wasn't watching, but I knew he was. Then, one night, I noticed the first sign. Something was horribly wrong. My backyard gate was unlatched, even though I always triple-checked it. My garden soil had fresh footprints in it, even though I hadn't been outside that day. And my security camera had been twisted upward toward the sky, clearly done by someone who didn't want to be recorded. I fixed everything, told myself maybe it was a prank or maybe I forgot something. But deep down, I knew Mark was involved because he had been obsessing over my backyard shed for weeks, claiming it didn't match the community aesthetic, even though it was identical to 3 other sheds in the neighborhood. So I installed hidden cameras, stronger locks, and motion sensors. And 2 nights later, at exactly 2:14 in the morning, my phone buzzed with a motion alert, and when I opened the feed, I felt my blood run cold. There was Mark, the HOA president himself, climbing over my fence like a trained burglar, landing quietly, flashlight hanging from his mouth, gloves on his hands, walking around my backyard with a weird mix of confidence and paranoia, taking pictures of my tools, my plants, my AC unit, even opening drawers in my workbench as if he lived there. I wanted to rush outside and confront him, but I stayed silent because I needed evidence. And good thing I did, because when he tried forcing open my shed with a crowbar he had concealed in his jacket, I immediately dialed the police while continuing to record every second of his break-in. He muttered to himself, whispering things like, "This is how I'll finally get him out," and "nobody disrespects me," proving this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was personal, calculated, and illegal. Minutes later, red and blue lights painted the street, and when officers quietly entered my yard, Mark panicked, tripped over a flower pot, smashing it, and tried to lie, claiming he was conducting an emergency HOA safety check because he suspected a dangerous violation. But the officers shut that down instantly when I showed them the footage of him climbing the fence, disabling cameras, and trying to break into my shed. They arrested him on the spot for trespassing, attempted burglary, property damage, and harassment. And as they led him out in handcuffs, half the neighborhood came outside, stunned, watching the man who had terrorized us all get exposed. But the fallout didn't stop there. During the investigation, police discovered he had installed a secret file on his laptop filled with photos of dozens of neighbors, backyards, garages, windows, and private conversations, most taken without consent. And when word spread, people came forward, admitting. The judge interrupted him, saying, "You are not a law enforcement officer. You are not above anyone here, and you have violated the privacy and trust of this entire community," sentencing him to probation, mandatory therapy, restraining orders, and a ban from ever serving on an